Hi y'all, it's Christina with Stina Resells, and I am a part-time reseller on both Poshmark and eBay. And if you're new to my channel, I do a lot of Thredup Rescue Box unboxings here. So if you like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I usually do 1 to 2 a week, and I will be having some more come later this week. This video is actually about what I made off of one of those Thredup rescue boxes. I did a video last week where I went through the a DIY designer box that I received from Thredup last year, and I will link that video above so that you guys can watch that if you want to watch that unboxing and then also the recap. Today I'm going to do a recap of a Thredup shoe rescue box that I did last year and kind of go through what each item sold for so that you can know what the actual profit from that box was and what each item made me. And I think it's really valuable because a lot of us go through and list out our cost of goods. So for instance, you know, what each item costs from that box. And then that's how we calculate our profit, which is great. And that's how I keep my records. But I think it's really interesting to go back and look at how much one of these boxes, especially for those of us who order a lot of the Thredup boxes, what are we actually making on a designer box or a shoe box or a fun box? So today I'm going to do the recap on a shoe box I got last year. The box was $90 and it included 15 pairs of shoes. If you want to watch the unboxing, I will also link that up above so that you can watch that. And I will put these in the description down below. But anyways, the shoebox contained 15 pairs of shoes. Of those shoes, I do still have one pair that's listed for sale that has not sold yet. And then I had another pair of shoes that I will show you a picture of, but when I went to go list them, they were ruined. I believe that the sole was coming off, so I obviously did not list those. So there were 2 items from the box that do not have a profit, so I could have made a little bit more, or maybe I will make more once the other pair of shoes sells. But the first item that was in the box was a pair of gray and white kind of comfort sandals that was actually new with tags. The brand was Euphoria, and I believe that that's sold at JCPenney. I listed these, I cross-list all of my items on both Poshmark and on eBay. And I feel like it was a pretty even split on what sold on Poshmark and what sold on eBay. But this pair of sandals in particular sold on eBay, and they sold for $20. The next item that was in the box was a pair of also comfort sandals, but a pair of Clarks. And they were brown leather, not new with tags, but the sole was in great condition. If you looked at the bottom of the shoe, it looked like nobody had worn them, but you could tell that somebody had because the footbed had some wear on it. So they were in really good shape. Those also sold on eBay, and those sold for $16. The next item that was in the box was my favorite item in the box. Was a pair of Rothies. And this is the second time that I've gotten a pair of Rothies in a shoebox, so I hope my luck continues. I'm actually going to be unboxing another shoebox this week, so stay tuned for that. But it was a pair of gray Rothies. They kind of had a little blue strip along the heel, and they were the pointed toe flat. So they were in awesome shape. And I did sell those on Poshmark. They sold in 1 day, as did the other pair that I got in another box. So right away, I had them listed for $100, and somebody sent me an offer for $85. I accepted, nothing like a fast sale. And so I made $68 on the shoe after the fees. The next item was a pair of Snook yoga sandals, kind of the black flat with the cloth straps. In the video, they look like they're just plain black, but when I started photographing them and put them under the light, it had kind of a rainbow metallic sheened that black material that wraps around your foot. And so I was able to find a stock photo of those sandals and got those listed. Those sold pretty quickly too. Also on Poshmark, they sold for $15. And so after the fees, I got $12 from that pair of shoes. The next item was a pair of New Balance sneakers, women's sneakers. They were in good shape. No major, I mean, they were obviously pre-owned, but no major like holes or damage or anything like that. So I cross-listed those. Those sold for $26 on eBay. And then the next item was a pair of, again, comfort shoes. I had a lot of comfort shoes in this box, but they're a pair of black leather mule slides. And the brand I had never heard of before was called Air Supply. And it did say inside the shoe that it was a work shoe. So I don't know if the person who purchased them for work, but I knew that those would sell well for people who are familiar with that brand and maybe use those for work. Those also sold on Poshmark. They sold for $25. And so after the fees, I made $20 on those. The next item in the box was a pair of Franco Sarto kind of wedge sandal. So the bottom was this black chunky wedge, and then the top was this very soft leather. Was a peep toe or an open toe at the front, and then it had a buckle and also wrapped around the ankle. I'm sure you can see it in the picture. They were in also really good condition, and they were very nice, like high quality. And so, but they did take a little while to sell. But once those sold, they sold as part of a bundle. Somebody bundled them in my Poshmark closet with another wedge from my personal closet, and sent me an offer for $45 for both. So because I didn't have any money into the other pair, I just went ahead and accepted that. So if I divide that evenly down the middle, then that means that this wedge sold for $22.50. And then after the fees, then I made $16.77 on this pair. The other pair of shoes that was in this box that sold for the most, next to the Rothies, of course, was this really interesting pair of black heels. So I remember during the unboxing, I was looking at them thinking, you can tell that they're a really nice pair of shoes. The quality was great. They were in awesome condition. But the interesting thing was the inside of that heel was like a bright blue. It was almost like what would be inside like a performance sneaker inside this heel. So the brand was Antonia Saint, which I was not familiar with. And I think it said Brooklyn, Antonia Saint Brooklyn or something like that. But again, they were in great condition. They took a little while to sell, but they ended up selling on Poshmark for $75. I was super happy with that. And so after the fees and everything, I made $60 on that pair of shoes. The next item was a pair of Madewell Sandals. They gave me like a throwback vibe to the late 80s, early 90s, with it kind of the brown strappy leather and then the multicolored or rainbow colored straps across the toe. I thought they were super cute. I can't remember if I listed them new without tags, but they had never been worn. They didn't have the tags on them. So the inside was perfectly clean, had no wear. The bottom had no wear. So those sold pretty quickly. They did sell on eBay for $30. Then the next item in the box was a pair of Christian Siriano heels. They were very pretty. They were almost like a watercolor, like a floral watercolor print all over the shoe. They had a really high heel on them. Maybe like 4 inches, but this is a Christian Siriano for Payless shoe. So I knew it wasn't going to sell for a lot, but they were really pretty. So they definitely had that going for them, and they were in good shape. Those did sell on eBay for $15. The next item is one of the items that still has not sold. It is listed in my closet. So if you like it, you're welcome to go and purchase that from me. And these are also, I don't know that they've been worn. They're in excellent condition. They're a pair of like knee-high moto boots. I think I remember being confused because they have an exposed zipper, which I assumed you zip down to put your foot in. But it's like a faux zipper. The real zipper was like a hidden zipper. But anyway, like I said, they're in great shape. They're still listed in my closet. I believe I have dropped the price a couple times. They're listed at $22. So hopefully, fingers crossed, as we move into fall and winter, somebody will go for those. So right now that's a 0 on those boots. The next item that was in the box is the other item that I didn't sell because it was in really bad shape, but it's a pair of Nichols sandals. These gave me a total early 90s vibe. They probably actually like wore from the early 90s. Because I'm not sure if they make Nichols anymore. Anyway, when I went to go list them, and I have a picture because I actually was going to list them, I went to move the shoe for photographing, and the like footbed like came off of the heel. So I'm like, okay, we're done with that. So those were also a 0. Those were a total loss. The next pair of shoes was another brand that I wasn't familiar with, but they were a pair of like kind of like comfort heels, like Mary Jane type shoes from a brown house. The leather, they're almost like a suede type leather, very soft. So you could tell they're really nice shoes. Those did sell. They sold on eBay for $31. So I was happy to sell those. And then the next item was a pair of Vince Camuto, like black suede booties. They were in a size 11, I believe. And so they took a little while to sell. Those did end up selling also on eBay for $25. They were in great condition. It's just sometimes with the sizing, it's a little tough, right? If it's really small or if it's a larger size, they don't necessarily move as quickly. But those did sell for $25 on eBay. Then the last item that was in the box, I was super excited about and I thought was totally going to sell fast. And it was probably the last item in this box besides those boots that are listed to sell. But it was this very pretty pair of black heels, like very classic looking heels by the brand Terran Rose. And I was super excited because I'd heard really good things about that brand. And you can tell that they're very like high quality shoes. But I had them listed forever. And so between Poshmark and eBay, someone sent me an offer on Poshmark for $35, which I totally thought I was going to get more than that. But I went ahead and accepted because they've been listed for a while. So after the fees, that was $28 in my pocket. So the total revenue that the box brought in was $420.50, which I was totally shocked by from the shoebox. After the fees that I have to pay to Poshmark and all that, it came to $367.77. And then if you subtract the cost of the box, which is $90, then my total profit for this box came to $277.77. And I was really surprised by this because, which I guess I shouldn't have been when I thought about it, but in the video that I recorded last week where I did this same type of recap video on a designer box, I pretty much profited the same amount off of a designer box than I did off of the shoe box. Now, I would say the difference being that designer box, it was not the best one I've received, although not the worst either. And with the designer box, it's 7 items, right? And so whereas the shoe box is 15. So you're having to do a lot more work listing 15 items, selling and shipping 15 items than you are with 7. But I was really like pleased by that. So I am getting ready to unbox another shoebox and we'll see how good that one does. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful to kind of see what I actually made off of these Thredup boxes that I'm unboxing. I think the next one that I do will probably be a recap of a fun box because I do a lot of fun boxes. I love them. To see really how much am I making off of a fun box. As we know, there's a lot of items that get thrown in there that like socks and other things that don't necessarily sell. So I will do a recap on that and we will see how I did on one of my fun boxes. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, if you like this kind of video or if you like unboxings, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.